To the hip, to the hip, the hip, hip, the hop, you don't stop the rock. We're back for 2026 NFL year. It's the Regular Guys Podcast, and we're doing a Thursday night football special. We are 2 hours and 26 minutes and 36 seconds away from kickoff of the Raiders and the Texans. And to me, that is going to be an interesting match because of the fact I want to see what Mendoza is going to do tonight. I think Mendoza will get out. Supposed to play like the first round pick that he is. We will see. But it'd be good to find out what the Raiders have in Mendoza, since Kirk Cousins will most likely be this year's starter. And I have good faith in Kirk. I think the Raiders are going to position themselves for that last wild card spot. I think that's the spot that the Raiders is going to wind up getting. And the reason why I say that is because of Kirk Cousins. You have a guy that is basically, even though he is stat hound, he does know how to win and he does know how to take his team to the playoffs. Now, what is his playoff success? That's something that's totally different. It's a totally different team. It's a totally different Kirk Cousins, but he does have the weapons. It ain't the and he will at times turn the ball over. So that is something that, if he can minimize, if he can keep down, I think Kirk Cousins and the Raiders will have a good season, given the fact that they do have a good defense and they do have a solid offense that can get the Houston Texans. I think Stroud needs to show. I think one, the starters should start. I think all the starters should play tonight and see what they can do on both sides. But I think most importantly, I think CJ Stroud should be playing tonight. I think Stroud needs to be out there because of the fact you have a new left tackle. You basically have a whole new you upright. That's been the issue going on now with Houston, and that's the reason why Houston gets to the playoffs and they're one and done, or they get to the divisional and they're two and done. So, that first game at 8 o'clock is going to be interesting. And like I said, with the San Francisco 49ers and the Chargers. I think the 49ers have to get from up underneath of this cloud that they're under and prove to everybody that a lot of people say that he's not, or a lot of people say that he could be. I think the 49ers, the way you have a head coach that, he was in an accident, just a whole bunch of off-season stuff that's going. They're really messed up there, and it's just one of them are saying, "Hey, San Francisco making the playoffs, I do. Do I have them going far? No, I don't." And given the fact they bought Debo back to help try to solidify what receiving core they got, opinion, and I'm being that person that is it's sounding like it is. Houston got a good defense, Raiders got a good defense, 49ers got a good defense. So we'll see. On the other hand, the Chargers, to me, question mark there. I think the Chargers, even though Harbaugh is there and Harbaugh is trying to turn it around, I don't think this is Harbaugh's year. I think with Justin Herbert and everything, it ain't a good fit. I think that one, first of all, he should have brought somebody in as a OC that can actually coach Harbaugh up. Yeah, Greg Roman did his thing in two other spots, but look at the quarterbacks he had. He had Lamar Jackson and Colin Kaepernick. And trust and believe, Herbert is not either one of them. So we're going to see, what happens with that and everything else. Now I do want to get into the Friday games that they have Friday, the 7 o'clock, 7:30, and the 9 o'clock game. Pittsburgh and the Jets is going to be one that I want to see what Pittsburgh is going to decide to do. To me, they should never have brought Aaron Rodgers back. I think you got Howard, then you draft your quarterback, and I think both of them could take Pittsburgh into a different what's the word I'm trying to use, into a different mind frame, a different team. What Mike McCarthy did, he can basically mentor both of them younger guys there. And when they mentor them younger guys there, is a thing of saying, hey, this team can take it to that next level. This team can go ahead and do what they do and still be good at it. So I think McCarthy should have just went ahead and said, "Hey, I'm going to roll with what I have. I'm going to take out. I'm going to roll with Will Howard. I'm going to roll with who we drafted." I don't think that they should have brought Aaron Rodgers back. I think that right there is going to be their mistake. That is going to come back and really bite them in the rear. Pittsburgh has a good team. Do I have Pittsburgh winning the North? No, I don't. I don't have Pittsburgh winning the North. I think the team that is going to win the North is the Bengals. I think the Cincinnati Bengals is going to be that team that is going to take it to that next level. And basically, first of all, they're going to they're going to start off good. I think that 0 for 3 or 0 for 4 that they've been talking about and everything, that's not going to happen. I think
Motion detected in the front
I
yard.
think they're going to start off great, and they're going to get a jump on the division. And I think by them getting their jump on the division, that's going to hurt Baltimore. That is going to hurt um, Pittsburgh. That is going to hurt Cleveland. So I do think Cincinnati has a chance to come out of that division, and I do think Cincinnati has a chance to take it to that next level and go to the playoffs and probably challenge. I would probably say if I was to make my prediction now, they could have a chance to go either up against Denver or the Patriots. I don't think that they're going to, you know, beat either one of them, but they do have a chance to go. Um, the Jets are the Jets. I can't say no more. The next game is Jacksonville and Carolina, and these are the Friday games I'm talking about. I think Jacksonville, from their preseason, they will have to see what they can do. I think Jacksonville can become that team that can basically say, "Hey, we're going to we're going to go ahead and take it to that level, take the team to that level, and also take that next step." And I do think Jacksonville can actually make that happen. And if Jacksonville makes that happen and take it to that next step, I think that South is up for grabs. But the only thing is the coach. I got to see what Danny Dimes can do with the coach and see if Danny Dimes can take that coach and basically fight with Cincinnati, Denver, and most likely the Patriots to represent the AFC in the playoffs. Carolina, a lot of people who ain't gonna believe this, but I think the Carolina Panthers is gonna win that South. I think Tampa's going downhill. New Orleans with Truck, whatever his name is, corn on the cob. I don't know, but whatever his name is, I think he is going to call. Carolina is going to take it to that next level, and Carolina is going to come out of the South because of the fact that last year they got a taste of the playoffs. Last year they got a taste of of basically saying, "Hey, we know how to win. We know what pressure is on us." So it's going to be an interesting year for them and to see what they can do. I'm optimistic. I do think that they're going to win the South. And are they going to surprise people in the playoffs? No, I don't think Bryce Young is ready yet. But I think Bryce Young, you give Bryce Young another year in that system, then yeah, then I think we can, say that Carolina can become a threat. And then the other Friday night game is Denver and Green Bay. Now, this one, we know Michael Parsons is not going to be playing. We know Michael Parsons is out until probably October, until they got to play Dallas in the regular season. But what I want to see what Denver's going to do. I want to see if Denver can repeat what Denver did last year. I don't think Denver can. I don't think Denver can be that team that can do what they did last year, this year. I don't see it. And the reason why I don't see it is because I see Kansas City coming back. I see again the Raiders doing their thing, and I see Denver doing their thing. But I just have to say, make it a third year. I think Bo Nix can go ahead and solidify himself as one of the top, and Caleb and the rest of them. Then I'm gonna jump into the whole slew of Saturday games that we have. Starting with the early game, Washington and Detroit. Detroit already said they're playing their starters. Washington is playing it by ear because of the fact that they're hurting on their offensive line, but they're getting a lot of their players back. Now, what I want to get into, and this is a good one because everybody's sitting up here talking about should Jaden play, should everybody play, and everything else. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, no, he shouldn't. Okay, and the reason why is even if he's healthy, even if he's, lining it up in camp, if he's killing it in camp, don't risk your first 4 games. You got to gauntlet your first 4 games. You start Pittsburgh, Philly, Dallas, both games on the road. Then you got Seattle at home. Come on now. Them 3 games alone, you need him there for. Are they beatable games? They could be. But the thing is, you don't want to put him at risk, especially with Stephon Diggs there, especially with Terry McLaurin there, especially with Antonio Williams there. You got Chig, you got Bates, you got um, um, Rashad White. You got the guys there. You put weapons around Jaden for him to be successful. Everybody talking continuity, all this, all that. You get your continuity in both joint practices and during camp. So if their timing or anything is off when it comes to game time, guess what? That ain't on them. That ain't on the team. That's on the fact that they not doing what they was doing in training camp to put it out there on display for week 1, for week 2, for week 3. Remember, first 2 games is on the road. That third game, I'm gonna try to be at that third game, that Seattle game. That is them 3 games right there is going to define where we are both offensively and defensively. It's going to define where we are and how far we're going to go. If they jump out to either 2-1, I'm not going to say 3-0, but let's say a 2-1 start, then we know how it's going to be for the rest of the year. These three games that is going to project Washington's season. And this is the reason why I say no, they should not play Jaden. Okay? For everybody wants to question that, for everybody wants to know, oh, what you no, Jaden should not play. Everybody else can, but your marquee guy, your superstar, the one who done put his franchise on his back, no. Now, if y'all want the 2024 Jaden, don't put him out there. If y'all want the 2015 Jaden, the 2025 Jaden, go ahead. Put him out there so he can get hurt. But I would not do that. Detroit, I think Detroit is a tricky one. And the reason why I say that is you're going to see the good Detroit, then you're going to see the bad Detroit. Okay? And Detroit whole season, the whole thing revolves on Jared Goff. However Goff goes is how that team goes. And I think if Jared Goff can handle his business and do what he did in 2024, Jared Goff can, possibly have them in the championship game. It just depends. Do I think they're going to be there? No, I don't. Do I think that they're going to make it to the playoffs? Yeah, I do. Do I think that they may win the division? Yeah, because I think Chicago is going to take a step back. I think Caleb is still developing. He is still learning Ben Johnson's system, and he hasn't got a grasp. Until he gets a grasp on it, who knows? And then he's on the cover of Madden, so everybody knows about the Madden jinx. So that's the other thing that is the reason why I'm not giving a nod to Chicago to win that North. If anybody I'll give it to either Green Bay or possibly Detroit. Minnesota, they got Kyler Murray. Their issue is quarterback. Until Minnesota figure out Minnesota is going to be Minnesota, and I don't think they're going to figure it out anytime soon. The 1:00 game is Buffalo and Cleveland. That one I want to see, and the reason why I want to see it, it ain't because of Buffalo. It ain't because it's Josh Allen. It ain't because it's whoever it is that they think is going to be out there. I want to see what Deshaun Watson's going to do, because I think with Deshaun Watson under Todd Monken, I think you're going to see a better Deshaun Watson. I think Deshaun Watson got the monkey off his back. But what a lot of people fail to realize is this, and they talk about age and slowing down and everything else. Deshaun Watson hasn't played a full season in about 3 or 4 years. So his body is preserved. That beat up is preserved. So Deshaun Watson being under Todd Monken can come out and do what he can do and turn him and coach him like he coached Lamar Jackson. I'm telling you right now, Cleveland is going to be a team that you can watch out for. Everybody talk about, their defense and, the fact that their offense and stuff isn't that good, or Todd Monken is not that good. I'm going to tell y'all right now, they got Jared Verse. Even though they lost Myles Garrett, they got Jared Verse. They got a younger Myles Garrett. I think this defense of theirs is going to be playing lights out. Okay? I like the fact that they got Todd Monken from Baltimore. And Todd Monken is going to show what he can do. Now, is Todd Monken is going to bring that same offense there? No, I don't think so. I don't think Todd Monken is going to do that. I don't think Todd Monken is going to have is going to risk all. Is going to show what he can do, even with that offense that he was running down in Baltimore. So, with that being said, I really do think Cleveland can make some noise. I think Cleveland is going to be one of them where they also is going to surprise teams this year. Do I think that Shador is going to, get a chance to play this year? Possibly, but I doubt it. To me, he's not ready. He showed it last year. He wasn't ready. I don't think he's ready. I don't think that he can go into a full season as a starting quarterback. Heck, I don't even think that he can go into a full season, into a half a season as a starting quarterback. Deshaun Watson isn't. I mean, Shador Sanders isn't that guy that was in Colorado that was, daddy's quarterback that was basically having it easy. So, to me, Deshaun Watson, how Deshaun Watson goes is how this team is how Cleveland is going to go. Um, the next one is Indiana and Atlanta. This one is interesting because I want to see basically how Indiana is going to play Atlanta. I know Atlanta, their turmoil right now in Atlanta is the fact that they're having a quarterback issue. I think with Michael Penix being hurt, and the fact that he's coming back from recovery, and then they went and got concussion prone. Excuse me, they got concussion prone Tua. I don't think Atlanta is going to make that move, or Atlanta is going to, make any noise in the South. They have to figure it out. And Kevin Stefanski, I think he knows that. I think he's going to figure out the fact that we have to figure this out. Now, if they can get a healthy Michael Penix with Bijan Robinson, it could work. Do I think that Penix is better than Tua? Yeah, I do. I think Penix can take the job and run with it, but he has to be healthy. Now, Tua, it depends on which Tua you get. You might get the early Miami years Tua, or you may get the late Miami years Tua. So it just depends. But to me, I think Michael Penix will. If Michael Penix is playing, they're going to challenge the Panthers for that division. If Michael Penix miss 5 weeks, they might as well kiss it goodbye in Atlanta and just get ready to start looking for a replacement, or hopefully they can get Michael Penix back and going again, because you got to learn that Kevin Stefanski offense, and it's a hard offense. The Colts, I talked about the Colts earlier. If Danny Dimes come back and play like he played last year, the Colts is going to be hell on earth. They are going to be a team to beat. And I think the Colts is going to be that team that a lot of people are going to be scared of. But that's if Danny Dimes come back. Danny Dimes has to come back and be Danny Dimes that he was last year, and not the Danny Dimes of the New York Jets. I mean, the New York Giants. Okay, and I think Danny Dimes can be that. I think Danny Dimes can take them to that next level and take them, and give them a good playoff run. Now, how far of a playoff run, I don't know, but I think that they could basically challenge Jacksonville for the South. The next game, that's a 1:00 game, is Baltimore and Minnesota. I'd say what I had to say about Minnesota. They're having quarterback issues, and until they get it right, Minnesota is Minnesota. The interesting one is this, and this is the one I want to hound on. This is the one that I know a lot of you Baltimore fans, because I did pull the numbers. A lot of y'all in the Baltimore area like to listen to me. So guess what? I'm getting ready to give y'all what y'all want. I'm getting ready to give it to you right here, right now. I'm definitely getting ready to give it to you. So on that note, the Ravens, to me, okay, is going to be the Ravens. I don't think that they're going to. I think they're going to make some noise. They're not going to make a lot of noise. Okay. The reason why I say that is it depends on how y'all play my guy at wide receiver, Jacoby Myers. The reason why I say that is this: y'all give Zay Flowers a number one receiver contract. He's not a number one. He's a slot. Y'all should have gave him slot money. If y'all making this guy a number one, that's crazy. When y'all got that rookie there. That rookie is that guy that is going to make the most noise. That rookie is going to be that guy that is going to, you know, you know, give y'all give y'all what y'all want and 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 take y'all to that next level. This rookie is going to be that guy that is going to say, "Hey, this is what Lamar needed. This is what Lamar has been missing." Because I'm telling you right now, if y'all do not give that boy that ball and y'all make Zay Flowers y'all number one, DeCosta needs to be fired, and I mean that. Zay, he's good. Don't get me wrong. But he's not a he's definitely not a number one. They shouldn't have even gave him number one money. He's not worth number one money. He's a slot receiver. He played he's a slot. That's all I'm gonna say. He's a slot. And that's one mistake that they made. If they wanted somebody to compliment, if they want somebody to compliment their rookie, he's a good complimentary in the slot, but not as a number. No, I don't. I really think Baltimore dropped the ball on that one, especially with the fact that you got expiring contracts coming up. You got contracts that's coming up that, especially these rookie contracts, that you need to keep um, these guys happy. And if you don't keep them happy, you already know what's going to happen if you don't keep these guys happy. So to me, I'm looking at it like this. They really dropped the ball on this one. They Baltimore should have went to a whole different level because of the fact that that DeCosta didn't do what DeCosta should have did. And given the fact that Eric DeCosta didn't do what Eric DeCosta didn't do, that's crazy. Motion detected in the front yard. And I really do think that DeCosta should have, went out and said, "Hey, I drafted the number one. Let me go get the number two, and let put Zay Flowers at three where Flowers should be." Okay, the whole thing is that Zay Flowers. The thing is that Zay Flowers, he's going to get them 1,000 yards. He may. I don't know. But now you have Myers that is going to be like, "Hey, I want this ball." You have you have that that wide receiver that can dominate a game. And I do think that he is going to do that. I do think he's going to dominate in Baltimore. He's going to give Baltimore something that Baltimore hasn't had. Okay. Now the coaching staff is something totally different. Depends on how they on what they do. I don't trust that coaching staff. I don't. New Orleans and the Rams is a 4 o'clock game. Rams is the Rams. I got the Rams representing the NFC in the championship game. Who else I got with them? That's up in the air. That's up in the air. It depends on how Washington plays. It depends on how Philly plays. It depends on how Dallas plays. Dallas, they have a good team. They just added Von Miller. They got even better on the defensive side of the ball. But I'll get into that in a few. But again, I think the Rams are going to repeat from last year. But is the Rams going to get over the hump? They probably will. They probably will, especially if they go to the championship game. And if it's there, they probably will, given the fact that the Super Bowl is back in SoFi. So they may repeat what they did twice. Okay. And I do think that with the Rams, with the Super Bowl being in SoFi, I do think that the Rams is going to, make some noise. Again, and this is reference to going back to what I was saying about Baltimore and the money that they gave Zay Flowers. You give a number one money that they shouldn't have gave. Okay. Puka is a true number one. Puka is a game changer. Then he got Devontae Adams right there. Baltimore, you have that receiver and the rookie that you drafted. That is your number one. Zay Flowers should be right there at the slot. Your number two receiver right now is sitting there in Washington. Y'all should have went and got Stephon Diggs and brought Diggs in and solidify the weapons around Lamar Jackson. Okay. And then you got to look at your tight ends too, as well. Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews ain't likely. They should have signed likely and kept likely. So again, big mistake. Going back to the Rams, the Rams played this smart. They got Tyler Higbee. They got Devontae Adams. They got Puka Nakua. They got a running game. Heck, and then if you flip the script, they have a defense. So I do think that the Rams is going to take it this year. I think they're going to come out of the NFC. And it just depends on how it goes with that championship game. But I think the Rams can pull it off and be home this year and probably win their second Super Bowl in SoFi this year. The other 4 o'clock game is Miami and the Giants. Oh, and they play New Orleans. New Orleans is still learning. They're a young team. They got a young coach. So they're still navigating things. They're still learning. And I know what people are going to say. Well, Mike, their coach went to the Super Bowl. Yeah, but still. He wasn't the head coach. He was a coordinator. And he had Philly playing a different style of ball that Philly was used to playing. So, to me personally, I think that that New Orleans is going to get there, but they're not going to get there this year. I think they're going to have a higher win total than Tampa. Yeah, I really do. What's going to set Tampa back is the fact that they're not trying to pay Baker Mayfield, and I'll get into that when I talk about Tampa. But New York and Miami, Miami is Miami. Excuse my language. I'm getting ready to say they're a clusterfuck. They all over the place. But I do think the Giants can possibly win games. And I think so this is how the Giants work. If the Giants can control Jackson Dart and make Jackson Dart, what do I want to say? Make Jackson Dart a quarterback that he can be and calm him down from running and from getting hurt so much, I think the Giants can also be in contention in the West. I mean, in the East. I'm sorry. I think the Giants could battle Dallas and could battle Washington for that division. Okay, I think the Giants, because of the weapons that the Giants has, the Giants are probably one of the most dangerous teams in the NFC East. Okay, so that's there. Cincinnati and the Bears. I say what I said about Cincinnati. They're my go-to team. Cincinnati is my go-to team that I say is going to do their thing as well. And my guys in here, my co-host William, he's in here. I'm gonna get back to Baltimore in a minute. I'm going through all the preseason games. I do think Cincinnati. I want to see what Chicago is going to do Saturday night, and I want to see if Caleb Williams is going to be able to be Caleb Williams, and if he has a grasp on on this offense, and if he has a grasp on Ben Johnson's um, system. And if he does, then they may wind up winning. They may wind up winning the They may wind up winning
The North, NFC North.
the North. Yeah, they may wind up winning. They may wind up winning the NFC North. So we'll see. Now Cincinnati. The reason why I say Cincinnati is going to be there is, again, I don't think Cincinnati is going to get off to a slow start this year. Really don't. I don't think Cincinnati is going to. I think Cincinnati is going to come out of the gate winning games, and that's what gives me things are saying Cincinnati is going to win that division. And then if you look at Pittsburgh and if you look at Baltimore and if you look at Cleveland, again, with Deshaun Watson, it just depends on how Todd Monken plays Deshaun Watson. I do think Deshaun Watson may have a good year. His body is preserved. He ain't played a whole season in 3 to 4 years. So we'll see on that. Um, and since Will is on here, I'm gonna jump back to Baltimore. Okay. And this is what I was saying. Okay. The reason why, and this is the reason why I'm giving it to Cincinnati and not Baltimore. Again, y'all GM messed up. Okay. And what I mean by that is he labeled Zay Flowers as y'all number one receiver. And Zay Flowers is not a number one. Zay Flowers is more of a slot receiver than anything. Okay. And what I'm saying is this, that rookie that y'all drafted, that's y'all number one. That's the guy that is going to dominate. Now, what they should have did was he's number one. Let's go get Diggs. Put Diggs opposite side of him and put Zay in that slot. Zay Flowers has always been what Zay Flowers is, a slot receiver. You pay him number one money for what?
Good DJ man.
You no, Jacoby, the
Okay,
young boy Jacoby.
so which slot receiver has not been overpaid for? Hello? Hello?